Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alrighty, it is not a huge day for news, but let's go through what I was able to find. Heatblur on their Facebook page had dropped a new image of the AVIA page coming together. This is a display in the back seat for the Rio. And my understanding is it's going to support data to help with Case 3 recoveries, takeoff performance monitoring, and combat help, possibly, from what some people are saying here. I don't go in the Rio seat, so I really don't know much about that back seat. But this is the first peep we've heard from Heatblur in a long time. I'm really hoping to hear more from them soon in terms of the Tomcat, like where's the F-14A and campaigns, but that's basically what Heatblur had popped up with, and that was a few days ago. Razbam. These guys are getting busy again. They really are. So as of 2 hours ago, they have posted, as you know, we work closely with the ADA to provide a true representation of the Mirage 2000C. Due to this relationship, a few changes have been made following a request from the ADA. These changes will be introduced in the next few updates. We will, of course, keep you updated on release via changelogs, the forum, and our Facebook page. What it looks like is they've changed things yet again in terms of, like, how to use things in the cockpit. They just recently did that and changed things around. And I thought they just came out with some new training missions to reflect the changes that had been made and changes with the new manual they just came out with. But here we go again. So operational changes, radar HOTAS button switches. The following radar HOTAS button switches have changed functionality. TDC center. It is now TDC depress, lock target. Its unique function is to lock air-to-air targets. The radar now has a default lock mode. This means you can lock an air-to-air target as TWS or directly to STT. With a locked air-to-air target, toggles between STT and TWS track modes, same as before. With radar on scan and no locked air-to-air target, it selects the default lock mode for air-to-air targets, STT or TWS. Default lock mode can be overridden by the toggle switch, but upon target unlock will go back to its default. Second thing, guns and rockets, default firing mode. Looks like they're changing some things about that. I'm not going to read it all. I'll let you guys do that. Number 3 is going to be bomb release quantity, interval, and order. The release quantity now increments by 1 from 0 to 18 and cycles back to 0. Number 4, the S530D salvo mode is disabled to follow in the coming months. Salvo mode doesn't exist in the Mirage 2000C. This mode was selected by switching the PDA switch between TOT and PAR. I kind of remember that. Default switches position when starting in the air. Radar altimeter is active. Radar is on EM mode. DDM is off. Then 6, DDM IR missile detector is now unmounted and off by default. Some of this other stuff, I don't know what it means. FWB too slow logic updated. AP gong sound logic updated. AP autopilot roll limit updated. Autopilot track index behavior fixed. Display changes. The S530D SVI brackets have been deleted. They don't exist in the Mirage 2000C. The S530D G and D are now circled all the time. They indicate the missile seeker head is locked on target. TDC is now available in SIL and EM modes. TWS STT lock mode legend is now visible at all times in both SIL and EM modes. It indicates the radar default lock mode with no lock target or current lock mode. CCRP target cross has been deleted. This is a feature that's in the Mirage 2000D only. So it looks like they are on top of things to keep things realistic, and I commend them for that. My only complaint is, come on, guys, you just changed things in the cockpit already, and it's so hard to remember how to do all this shit, man, when you have all these modules like we do, you know? So, like, let's make this the last change, guys. Let's do it right the first time, you know? Like I said, I love the stuff Razbam does, but, like, holy cow, how many times are we changing the Mirage? I like to mention people that do cool stuff and that are members of the community and do things to further our hobby by creating cool videos of their own. And this is a pretty cool video. It's a cinematic video from a guy named Hitchcock, who has 347 subscribers. So go subscribe to this dude, because this is a really nice video. It's called Hornet Ball. I turned the sound off because every time I leave the sound on one of these videos, I end up getting a copyright strike for some reason, because the sound that's in the video is, you know, somebody else's music or something. So that's why I don't have sound on anymore when I'm showing people videos through YouTube and whatnot. But really good video, really well done. I haven't quite figured out how to do things that cool yet, but, you know, one day maybe I will. But I do enjoy watching the things that other people do, and it's really cool that we have such a large community of people that really do try to do positive things, you know. I thought this was really cool, and like I said, this is I'm going to try to include a video, you know, every other news segment to highlight the things that other people in the community are doing, because everybody deserves a little bit of attention. And it's really nice to see that people are trying to, you know, further the hobby and do something positive, because flight sims is a very niche thing, and we're lucky to have them. Here's another thing I came across that was really good, and this guy did a DCS VR Optimization video before for 2.55, and he's got a couple other good videos too. The dude's got about 10,000 subscribers. Lukas S /Wolta, and this is a really good video. It goes through and talks about the VR optimized shaders, disabling hot plug, corrections to his original guide, and how to disable game DVR in Windows to give you a little bit more performance. I highly recommend checking this out. I'm not so certain about using the VR shaders mod, and my thought on that, and I did ask the guy, but my thought on that is, see, I tend to make a lot of videos and I go back and forth between 2D and VR both. So I don't want to ruin what I'm doing in 2D, you know, and he says that, you know, for the most part it should be okay, but it might update some of your stuff for 2D, you know what I mean? So I didn't get a clear answer on this, but I am afraid to use them and mess something up in 2D. But if you do nothing but VR, this is probably a good thing to look at. Very cool stuff. And I see all the time on the various Reddit and Facebook groups that I am part of where people are talking about the VR optimized shaders. And they are supposed to help people get a few more FPS. And, you know, in DCS, sadly, we need every bit of FPS we can get when it comes to VR. Here's another video that I thought was pretty cool. So there's another community guy named Chazflyz. He makes a lot of really nice videos. He's a good DCS pilot, and he recently picked up an HP Reverb Pro 4K, and these are his first impressions. And it's a really good video, and it goes into detail and talks about, you know, what it takes to get it up and running and what his impressions are at this point of it. And man, I see time and again where people are talking about how the reverb is really the way to go in DCS. I'm really tempted to pull the trigger on this. It's I love my Rift S, don't get me wrong, but it's just another investment, you know. This thing's about $650, but the thought of having 4K VR is really tempting. Plus, he's going through and showing you can change that from 90 hertz to 60 hertz, so you can cap the frame rate lower and, you know, basically tweak it out a little bit more. If you can't get the 90 FPS, you can tweak it down to 60. So tempting. So tempting. Don't be surprised, guys, if a month from now I end up with one of these damn things, because I'm very close to it at this point. So tempting. Sadly, the last thing to report is that IL-2 sales are over. All the stuff is back to normal price right now. But I can't recommend enough how awesome IL-2 really is. I've been playing the heck out of it right now. And man, I love it. I absolutely do. For World War II, it's really hard to beat this, man. It is so much fun. I think the only thing we're missing this week is there's no open beta changelog yet. So hit the refresh button, nothing. So on the 3rd was our last DCS open beta update. So I have a feeling, guys, that it's probably going to happen tomorrow. It's been happening on Thursdays and Fridays from time to time too. It seems like for a while there, Wednesday was the day, I thought. But not this week, guys. Razbam had added a pilot body to the cockpit. So on the 7th, they come up with this model and posted it on their Facebook page. And then on the 9th, they posted this little video, which basically just shows a body in the cockpit. And that's the kind of thing that, you know, I can do with or without. It doesn't really affect me either way. Lastly, WinWing. These are the guys that made that FA-18 HOTAS that seems to have tanked, to be honest. I know they had some like production issues. They came out with this thing and then they got them in the hands of a lot of YouTubers, and I guess like a bunch of the major YouTubers that do the DCS stuff, and I won't mention names, but they were just like, I'm not going to review this because it's messed up. That's not exactly what they said, but, you know, without, you know, in not so many words, that's what it came down to. There was a lot of issues with the first run of these things, and supposedly the new second run should be out pretty soon, and it looks really cool. Like, you know, it has such great potential. But these guys posted yesterday something about the DCS Cockpit Editor. So I'll post a link to the video, but it looks like some kind of, you know, choose a, like an iPad thing. What do they got, like Chinese DCS or something? Because they are from China. So it looks like they're working on a piece of software that will allow you to export some functionality. My guess is that's going to put it on an iPad or another screen, or allow you to do... There's another piece of software out there that lets you do a similar thing to this with the A10. So, something they're working on, I guess. Now that's kind of cool to give you a little bit more space on the screen. I didn't watch the whole video, but I thought this was interesting, and it premiered just yesterday, and I thought it would be of interest. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. That is the news for the 11th of March, 2020. Like I said, I guarantee tomorrow we'll probably get our open beta update. Curious to see what we end up with. I'm really hoping we get something from Heatblur pretty soon. I want to see more stuff for the Tomcat. I really love the Tomcat. And I've been playing a lot of IL-2 this week as well, too. I'm really getting into that. I think IL-2 is my new favorite thing at the moment. It's so much fun. Multiplayer is kind of a mixed bag, though. But I'll be doing a video on that soon, too. But as for what I'm playing this week, yeah, I'm all over IL-2. I still poke around in my Tomcat, and I'm really looking forward to Doom Eternal. I play other stuff in addition to flight sims, And I thought that looked pretty much fun, and I'm dying to get my hands on it because I love Doom 2016 when it came out. And the new one's coming out, I think, next week if everything goes as planned. So there's that. So anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time.